Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial on how to do a proper bust caging technique. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So to start, you have to draft out your bustier pattern. So I'm just going to draft it out for the purpose of beginners in the house. So the first step I'm going to take is to mark out all the basic measurements which I have done, and now I'll be marking my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5 inches, which I'll go ahead and mark to the end of this pattern. So after marking that, you want to mark your basic dart intake of 1 inch on both sides, and you also mark it on the other side. Go ahead and connect, and also connect at the other side of your pattern. So after connecting that, you want to go ahead to connect from your bust down to your under bust, and also connect at the other side. So after I'm done connecting this, right, I'll just go up by 1.5 inches and I'll go ahead to mark, which is not a standard. You can use whatever you want, where you want your bustier pattern to start. Go ahead to mark your nipple to nipple again. After marking that, you'll be taking your dart intake of 1 inch on both sides and go ahead to connect. So after I'm done connecting this, I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline. So the next step is to insert my body measurement. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4, add my sewing allowance, and also replace your dart intake. Mark your under bust circumference divided by 4, replace the dart intake, and add your sewing allowance. You're going to repeat this also for the waist part. So for this pattern, I just made from the under bust to the waist short because we are focusing more on the bust caging part. So after this, I'll just go ahead and reconnect. After I'm done reconnecting, I'll connect this to the armhole of my pattern, and now I'll go ahead to cut this out. So after cutting out, I'll place this on a fabric. Go ahead to trace it out. So I'll be adding 1/2 inch on top, and also for the joining, and 1/2 inch below it. So after this, I'll go ahead and iron my thick gum stay on it. You can also use a peplum stay. So I'll just go ahead and join this up with 1/2 inch on the machine. So after I'm done joining, I'll go ahead to notch my joining, and which I'll go ahead to iron this out first before we go ahead to continue. So I had to place another fabric on this because my fabric is actually white and I don't want anything to stain it or burn the fabric. So after I'm done ironing, we'll start caging, and I will be doing this on the machine. So this is my bustier pattern now, and I'll start marking from the under bust following the curve I have here. If you don't want to follow this curve, go ahead to mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2 and add 1/2 inch, and you're going to mark it from the side, but you can go ahead to follow the curve. So I'll go ahead and mark out this side. After I'm done marking this, at the upper part I'll be marking 0.75 inches. That is where the boning on top will be. So for this boning, I'm using a 0.25 boning. That is the smallest boning, or that should be the smallest boning. So that's what I am using. So this boning is more flexible and it is easier to use. So go ahead to tape up the mouth of your boning, and you're going to place and start stitching. So while you're stitching, you're going to find out that this boning is very flexible and you don't even need to open up your boning or take out any strap from it. So I'll just go ahead and sew, and then at this point I'll cut it off. So this is the effect I have already. So if you're a beginner, it's best to go ahead and use this 0.75 boning. It's going to be easier for you to do your bust caging with this because it is very flexible. So next, I'm going to start up with this part. Open that first boning that you sewed, and then you're going to start sewing this at the edge. If you notice, I only sewed the first boning once. I will be top stitching on it secondly when I'm done sewing. So when I get to this point, I'll cut out and I'll top stitch. So this is what I have on this point. So the next step now is to go ahead to start stitching the middle part and the part that I have the joining on my bustier pattern. So this is what I have. So another thing is that you're going to make sure that the joining, you iron it openly, iron it open, that is the joining, and then push in your boning inside the first boning on top, and then you're going to start stitching down. While stitching, you're going to cut this and you're going to push it inside this way, take up that first boning that you sewed, then you're now going to sew this. After you're done sewing, you're going to cut out your thread and top stitch on the second one. Another thing you want to consider is to take your time to do this. Don't be in a hurry to sew your boning. Now I'll push this boning inside the first boning on top and I'll start stitching on one side. Now you're going to bend this boning, make sure that it's not really straight, like force it inside a bit to give it a curve. Now go ahead to cut this and push it inside and stitch. Now top stitch on the second part. So this is the effect I'm having already. So the next step is to continue adding my boning. So just the same way I made this, I'll go ahead and sew the other side. So after I was done sewing, this is what I have. And now we're going to start from this other side. I'll push in my boning and make sure that you're not sewing it on a straight line. So making use of a 0.75 boning allows you to bend your boning when you're sewing. You don't really need that stress of going ahead to notch your boning in some areas. So I'm just going to go ahead to bend my boning while sewing. Make sure that it's not following a straight pattern. So when I get here, I'll go ahead and push my boning to the side, like to make sure I have a curve, and I will cut it out. So after I'm done sewing now, I'm going to go ahead to sew the last one on this. But this is the effect I have already. As you can see, it is coming out. So I'll just go ahead and top stitch on this. You notice the first two we sewed, I did not top stitch on it. It was just ones that I sewed on it. So for this part, you just have to completely stitch on it. And after I'm done stitching again, I'll go ahead and place my boning, push it inside the first boning that we sewed on the bustier pattern, and then start following the curve. So if you're using a 0.25 boning, it will allow you to follow any curve of your choice. So if you're a beginner, you want to go ahead and use the tiniest or 0.25 boning. It makes it easy for you while caging. So after I'm done sewing, I'll go ahead and top stitch on it again, just like I did on the other part. So this is what it is looking like. So we'll go ahead and continue stitching. So if you have any question, you can go ahead and also ask. Leave your question at the comment section. So after that, I'll go ahead to top stitch round it. So this one is going to hold the boning that you have round your caging. So this is what my bust caging looks like. My bust is on the small side, it's 33 inches, but as you can see, this will sit very well on me. So I'll just go ahead and I will iron this. So you have to go ahead and iron it out for it to come out properly. So this is it right now, and this is what it is looking like. So I'll go ahead and I'll iron this out. After ironing it, you go ahead to flesh it. So to flesh it, you can use your fiber or your wadding, or you can go ahead and double your stay. So I'm using my hemming gum to place on it. This is what I have at home. The bigger hemming gum is more durable, but I'm just making use of what I have. Now I'll just go ahead to iron. So ironing this actually takes you some time, but you just have to be patient and follow this. So another trick I have when doing my bust caging is, after I'm done ironing, I top stitch round my fiber or light wadding or stay, whichever one I'm using. I go ahead to top stitch it round, and then I'll now go ahead to trace out the excess. So I'll just remove the part that is sticking to the bustier, and this is what I have. Trim out about 1/2 inch on top. So this is what my bust caging looks like. Go ahead to iron it and mold it out very well, and this will sit properly inside your dress. So with this, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you have any question, go ahead to leave it at the comment section.